description to the live the last time, so I stopped it to add another description. My name is King. I am streaming from Nigeria. I hope you have fun on my stream today, discussing what I you know aim to uh, focus on in today's stream. So in this stream, in my streams, in my lives, I just do things that are kind of, I don't know, something that's either is academia based, or just like something, how to call it now, I don't know, something that inspires a level of thinking, something that inspires ideas sharing, like people sharing their ideas with me, or me sharing my ideas with people to listen. I do that a lot here. And this week, today is Wednesday, so like we're supposed to read poetry or something like that, but I just wanted to have a little bit of a discussion here. I feel like if I'm going to be, where's my phone? I feel like if I'm going to be doing this for a while, I have to establish a level of I don't know, some sort of identity for my channel, which is not what is in my bio, okay? But let's not say identity. Let's just say some ideologies, behind some ideologies for this channel to stand upon, okay? And it's not like I have this. It's I don't know. It's not about having an audience. You get. I feel it's more about just doing the things that I agree with in real life on here. You get, like standing by the ideologies that I stand for in real life, and also being flexible to new ideas and new perspectives from different people that I might come across while streaming, and all of it coming together to be somewhat authentic to me overall. So people don't come on here and connect with me and think I am, something that I am not, which obviously I can't control it entirely, but I feel like I can, take it to a certain level where you know what to expect from me, and you kind of know what type of things I would support or criticize. Yeah. So all of that to say that I just want to take some time out to strongly present some opinions about world events going on right now all over the globe. And I'm talking about the whole Nepal, Indonesia issue, but I don't want to focus too much on that, in the sense like I don't want to make it like I don't want to say things that I don't really know about the situation yet, although I have gotten a general sense of what is going on. I see the news, I see the pictures, the protests going on every day online, and I feel like I have to I feel like I want to contribute in a way to the discussion about it all, and that discussion is how everything in our earth on earth right now is going to shit basically. Yes, there are wonderful things happening, sure, and it's not good to like focus on just the darkness and the horror, but like there's a lot of horrible things going on that we can't just play dumb, or I feel like if you are going to put yourself in a public sphere where people are going to different kinds of people are going to see you, you can't just pretend that nothing is happening. And also I think it's very very crucial, as somebody that's coming from what the westerners have labeled a third world country or a developing nation, which is much appropriate, pretending that all of these things are not affecting me is just like it's not going to do anything. And what sparked this idea for this conversation is because somebody spoke to me like after my stream yesterday, and like so far in my stream for the past 2 days I think I've been seeing a lot of critiques about this country that I live in, this country called Nigeria. And they were like maybe you should pretend that things are not so bad here, or you should pretend and cover your country a bit, as if the shamefulness of the system that I exist in is my personal fault. It's a personal feeling of mine. And I want to say thank you, Herin. Hi. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. So, and I want to say that this I want to now reject any form of thing that places me, like any form of idea or perspective of me that somebody might think, oh, maybe I'll be feeling shame for how bad my country is or how bad things are in this country. I will feel shame for that because I'm not the one that put those systems in place. I didn't put those systems in place. I didn't pro- Thank you, Hearing. Thank you. I didn't put those systems in place. I was born into this system, okay? And there was certain things we were taught and socialized to believe as we grew up as children in this country, and it was that if you worked hard, if you were not lazy, if you focused on especially your education, like your life would be secure in the future, like your future would be secure. But like growing up into an adult, I came to realize that that was a lie. That was a big fat lie. Okay, my name is King. My name is King. What is your name, Herring? What is your name, Herring? Thank you for joining my stream. Where are you from, Herring? My name is King. King. Where are you from, Herring? I wonder if you also have complaints about your country. Your name is Nur Hayat. Is that correct? Is that the correct pronunciation? Nur Hayat. Where are you from, Nur Hayat? So, what was I saying? Uzbekistan. Cool, cool, cool. You guys speak a bit of Russian, yeah? Like if I say Здравствуйте. Hello, King. How are you doing? Hello, world. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. So you came yesterday, yeah? You saw me suffer playing Portuguese yesterday. Oh, хорошо, хорошо. Yeah. Учить немного русские. Русские язык, но не очень хорошо. I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, so in this live stream, so like I was saying, I'm talking about how I'm from Nigeria. Oh, Harry, no Hyatt, sorry, no Hyatt. Da. I'm so glad you understand that little Russian. Yeah. So I'm from Nigeria, Wales. Where are you from, Wales? So Nigeritski. Yeah, Nigeri. Um, yeah, is Nigeri. Yeah, is Nigeri. Yeah, is Nigeri. Yeah, is Nigeria. Tatamushta. Oh, cool. Well, cool. Tatamushta. Nigeria. Spasiba. How to say welcome? How to say welcome? Yeah. So, I was talking about how, being in like somebody was talking to me yesterday, and they were saying, no, Hayat, I hope you subscribe, you like, and you stay around. Well, you too. You guys subscribe, support the channel. I would really appreciate that. Let's grow on this channel. Anyways, so I was talking about how my country is a developing nation, and there were certain lies we were sold as children that eventually, when we met the real world as adults, like we were not prepared for. I was not prepared for it, and I sort of found myself in this limbo. Thank you, Hearing. Thank you. I just made it like recently. So, like this country that I find myself in is yes, it's curly. If you watch my older videos, you see my hair big and poofy. So I just made it like this, so it will be easy for me to handle for a while. Do you have straight hair or curly hair? I think people from Uzbekistan usually have straight hair, a lot of straight hair, and dark hair. Yes. So I was talking about how my country is worth critiquing, and if who else is going to critique it aside from me? Yeah. I know some people from your country. I think what's his name? Actually, I know some people from your country though. But welcome. This is me from Nigeria, you know. So I hope you have fun with me here today. Okay, so continuing on with the critiques. So that's the first thing I want to critique is like um Carly. Wow, that's cool. I wonder if I can see it. Maybe you can follow me on my Instagram. My Instagram is in the description, and I'll see your hair. Is it long? Is it long? Linear animal chick? No. Glini, no. What is short? Rodney or something? I don't know. But Glini is long. So that whole thing of as children we are taught lies, to cope, to pretend as if things are okay when they are not. I'll see your hair. No, Hyatt. So anyways, yeah, I want to say that I will critique this country as much as possible. As far as it has something worth critiquing, I will critique it. And I'm thinking about it in terms of the state of the world right now, where people, like people in other developing countries, even the countries that are so-called developed are not having, don't have this energy of what do you call it? A sort of revolutionary energy to them. It's like they vote against their interests, they vote against the things that would actually improve their lives, and they're so-called from that ones from the so-called developed country, while the countries that are the people from developing countries are standing up against nonsense. They're standing up against oppression, in their country. And that is why I mentioned Nepal and Indonesia, okay, where like the people of the country are burning things down in anger, in frustration. Like imagine a country that barely makes, how much is their minimum wage. Yeah? The government is now increasing the salaries to the tune of 10s and 15 times their, like the parliamentary members are being fed and overfed and overstuffed, and the way they are reacting, the way Indonesia is reacting, the way Nepal is reacting is so, it's kind of like a god went for my own country. Because in my country, so many times, anytime the new year starts, they do this thing where they announce the budget, and then we have to listen to these clowns states how much they are going to be taking per month, plus newspaper allowance, plus what other allowance, miscellaneous. They have like three different allowances in this country for members of, I think, the house, and members of, just members of the house. They have like 4 or 5 different allowances to the tunes of millions and millions of naira in this country. And the thing about it is that when we hear it in our country, like we just say, hey, this, imagine somebody getting millions of naira for just buying newspaper every day of the year, or no, every day of the month. He gets the allowance every month, to newspaper allowance. And then still among these people, we hear news of them stealing billions and trillions, and the only thing that is done by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of this country is just, oh, we found this person stealing money, and we took the person brought back like 1/3 of the money that they stole, so we've arrested them, and we don't see any real justice, happy, no real example for the other people that have the ideas to steal being punished in this country. So it's like most of the time when we hear this thing, we've become very desensitized to the madness of it all. And I think the countries that are reacting right now, they are not desensitized. They are very, 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 very mad. They're very, very angry. They're not familiar with that kind of nonsense. Even though, of course, in their country it's not perfect. So there's a level of corruption that happens, in those countries. But this one is like, it just got to this point and they could not take it and they took to the streets, to express their discontent, and the government is doing everything with the police to suppress them and everything. And of course, there are people who will lose their life in this process. There are people who will be maimed, who will be disabled. There are people who will be thrown into prisons and they might never be seen again. And I think that aspect of revolution, that aspect of, hello Gaurav, hi, welcome to the stream. How are you? There are people that will be thrown into jails that will never be heard of from their families again. There are people that will lose family members. There are people that will just, end up being like casualties of this process. And something that I feel in our own country, in this country, that is being pushed into our head early on is this fear of dying, this fear of death, this fear of standing up to authorities. There's this idea that somebody that is in an authorial, okay, I'm talking about my country, how bad things are in my country, and why I have to critique things that are going on in my country. I'm sure you heard me talking about how I have electricity issues in my house, how there's so much noise, there's no control, how the dogs are suffering beside me because there's no animal welfare system in this country, like so many things wrong in my country. And somebody was telling me, like in private messages, that, oh, pretend that everything is okay. And I'm like, that is the problem of this country, pretending that you are fine when you are not, pretending that things are okay when they are not. And I feel like, of course, I'm not going to the streets and I'm not screaming, but I feel like to an extent I should not be suppressed on my own platform, complaining about something that is worth complaining about. Yeah. And that is why I'm bringing up the issue of also Nepal and Indonesia, and how they are standing up to their government and how they are burning things down. Even I think in Indonesia at first they were trying to do peaceful protest, and then the police started running them over with their vehicles, killing them, and they're like, no, you people are actually insane. And they also became violent, and I don't want to use violence. I feel like they are rightful in their reaction and retaliation against an oppressive system. And why is this, where this revolution start up? Is because the people that are supposed to be taking care of them, that they elected, to be in charge of the country's whatever, they are just sucking them dry. They're just filling their pockets. Meanwhile, their children will now come online and be doing influencers, as if, oh, I started my account from small and I grew up to this level, and I'm just an influencer, making you, telling you to go and buy the latest most exclusive luxurious product in the market. Like, you should aspire to my wealth, you should aspire to my status. Meanwhile, you literally did not do anything to get to where you are. Yeah, you were literally, like, you just being pumped full of money that your parents stole from the government, stole from the people. And that aspect too is very common in this country. In fact, they do it to like stunt on people. That's what I'm saying. In this country, like, from small we are taught to fear authority. We are socialized to be scared of death and dying, especially when it involves us standing up for ourselves. We're like, people say things like, here they say things like, no, don't stand up for yourself, work hard to get money so that you can also oppress other people. And it's like, the money you're going to get to be able to oppress other people, you're not going to get it from working hard. You're going to get it from exploiting other people in this system that we find ourselves in. That's how the system is rigged. And then the aspect of the kids of these politicians. One thing about this country is very, very common in this country is that a lot of people, no matter what class you find yourself in, a lot of across all the classes in this country, lower class, middle class, and the elite, across all those classes, every parent aspires to send their child abroad. That is just what I was born into. Like, everybody, nobody raises a family to be like, oh, let's spend the rest of our life in this place. No, everybody always has this goal of, no, when the sign of me being a successful parent is that I'm able to send my kids abroad. So some people, that time I was very young, I used to hear, unfortunate stories of families that get defrauded of their entire properties because they went to go to America, and that time America was even more accessible for them. So they'll do this thing where they say you won American lottery, so they'll give you a green card automatically, but that thing was just one in maybe 10,000 people or one in 1,000 people, I don't know. And so some people would now sell all of their family's property. Hello, city boy. Hi. My name is King. Welcome to my stream. I'm from Nigeria. I'm streaming from Nigeria. Where are you from? Where are you from? So they will sell all of their family's properties, and cool. So you understand, you understand most of what I'm going to say talking about here today. So we hear so many stories on newspaper. That time it was newspapers was our major media. Phones were not available for us then. So the newspapers will report so many families being, being losing all of their properties and sleeping on the street because they're like doing, I want to do American lottery, I want to do American visa lottery. Yeah. So these families will lose all of their properties, but now it has evolved. Now people just, they try to be smarter, and also the technological means of getting a visa has improved. Everybody has phones. There's no, like, the information about processing a visa to go abroad is now more accessible. Although some people still get defrauded at the passport office, they get defrauded at the agents that want them to that they employ to process their documents and all of that. So all of it is just to say there's just this. Yeah, good afternoon, city boy. What is your name? My name is King. So there's all these processes where in this country, what people now use to seek to find solace in this system, that keeps on exploiting them, is that they just tell themselves that, okay, one day I will travel abroad, one day I'll send my kids abroad, my kids will not suffer what I have to suffer. And it's like, where are you sending these people to? Okay, because now, hello, hi, I'm seeing you, Gege, city boy. I'm seeing you. What is your name? My name is King. So I was saying that the issue of going abroad is kind of like, most the way people say things like, people have this, what do you call this, last minute plan that if all else fails, I'm sending my kids abroad. And they use these kids, they send these kids abroad with the intention that those kids become their own lifeline in their old age, to not suffer penury, in their old age. So they send their children to a life of, we have to say it, servitude abroad, extreme conditions abroad, where this child has to start to navigate a world and a system that, they were not prepared for. But either ways, they survive, and then they start to also, send money back home, and then, plan for things like, okay, I'll marry here or I'll come back home, like things like that. And it's like, we just take it at, like, okay, that's how things should be. Let's just take it as it's normal. And it's like, that is not normal, because if the country was so unable to enrich itself, why is it that a select few of people start to mention amount of money that thank you, city boy, thank you. Why is that a select few people start to mention amount of money that some people cannot even begin to dream of putting together in a day? Like, what do you mean somebody is stealing 10 trillion naira, like, dollars? Hello, Robert. Hi. Good afternoon. Welcome to my stream where I'm critiquing Nigeria. So obviously I'm streaming from Nigeria. Where are you from, Robert? Where are you from? So we kind of, Robert, we're talking about, like I said, I'm critiquing Nigeria. So I'm sure I don't know where you're from, but sorry. I am speaking out about it in my own way to kind of contribute to this whole movement across the world now. Cross River, cool. I'm streaming. I'm in Lagos right now. So I was talking about how Nigerians, we have to make peace. Like, we have to come to some sort of apply some sort of normalcy to the idea that the only way out of this oppressive system that we find ourselves in, this exploitation we find ourselves in. Oh, Benue, that's so cool. I've never had somebody from Benue. Welcome, 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 welcome. This oppressive system that we find ourselves in, we just we just decide that that is the normal way. Like, oh, of course it's normal. Like, every day in the newspaper now, we are so used on channels news. You just open YouTube, you just see channels telling you how many people died in Borno. They will say Boko Haram, and we're just supposed to make peace with that. We're just supposed to be like, oh, okay, Borno state, oh, the north, oh, this. No, we are so desensitized to the idea of human beings in this same country that we live in dying without any sort of real response from the government or from any humanitarian bodies in this country. There's no uproar, there's no mad, like, there's no anger, there's no, even if there's anger, there's no real, like, stomach churning, anger like that will not allow you to eat or sleep. That I can't just, even if one person dies, it's not something that we should just take for granted. But we just hear things like, oh, Boko Haram has taken over Borno state. Hello, Swapni, is that correct? Did I pronounce it correctly? My name is King. Welcome to my stream. I'm streaming from Nigeria. Where are you coming from? Where are you visiting us from? I'm streaming from Nigeria, and I'm critiquing my country because it deserves serious non-stop critique. Nigeria has a lot of problems. So, on the aspect of, like, people dying, in a state in our country from the northern belt. I don't know. I'm not too exact about what part of the north it is, but in that area there's this terrorist body called Boko Haram, and the Boko Haram, ever since they unleashed in this upon the northerners in this country, we just, after a while of anger, we just kind of moved on. And, like, no, we're not supposed to move on. The northerners are Nigerians as well. And if an agenda can be brought up, because I don't for it to go on so long and so persistently, without any real solution from the government, I don't know, it feels like it's something intentional that is being done to those people. What do you mean somebody cannot just live in the north in peace? Like, people from this side of the country, they say things like when we want to serve now, if you want to serve in, like, NYSC now, when NYSC comes up, everybody's scared to be posted to the north. Not because the north is something bad or something, like, the north by itself is something horrible or stifling. It's just this danger, this insecurity that has become, it was not always like this, that has become a staple of that area in this country. It's not normal. It's not normal. And there's this level of desensitization that Nigerians have towards suffering and poverty and exploitation and death. It's not normal. Why should people in the north make peace with being burnt out of their homes in the middle of the night, and the governor of that state, nothing affecting those people? Imagine a terrorist organization that seeks to control resources does not go to the governor of the state. No, it goes to the farmers. It goes to the people that are just selling small things in the market. It goes to the people that not even have light in their place. They just go there and they burn the houses down. And these people have to stand up in the middle of the night and start running for their dear lives and start looking for the next solution. Why? That is not normal. Because there's no way in this my area now, there are things we call vigilantes, yeah, because we don't trust our security system. Police is nothing to write home about in this country, and we've made peace with it. It's not normal. We don't have any real protection from the government. But when you want to see a rich man oppress a poor person, that's when you know that police exists. Police know the rules of law. So I'm just saying it that we in this place now, a group of armed bandits cannot just attack one house in this country. Like, if we hear somebody did do armed robbery in the next streets, this whole place will be on fire. Like the way vigilantes will do real. I'm telling you, like one period, I think last year, ending of last year, there was this spate of like armed robbers or something in this area. If you see the way they sent our council government, our local government council sent police to start doing like curfews for this place, start no, because if you attack any place in Lagos, you know what Lagos is? Lagos is the what do you call it, the heart of Nigeria's economy. That's just the truth. Lagos is the heart. So if somebody that has a stake in this our area, a big man that has a stake, when I say big man, I mean a politician or somebody in the government has a stake in this area, and they're saying I'm not waiting. So it's not common. They only do it where it's like if you are walking out at night on that bridge, maybe in you know, places, big market area, trying you're walking around in the night. Yes, people will definitely, like all those, what do you call them, touts, which is not normal. I don't want to call them touts because they're just human beings as well. But we've normalized the presence of touts. We've normalized people just, stopping people on the street and exploiting them of their money and their phone. We've normalized it. There's no real body going after them. But like this is not that. I don't want to even mention this place because I'm making this in comparison to a state like Borno State. Is this week I saw something about Boko Haram killing how many people in that state, and they just put Boko Haram terrorists. That's a lie. There has to be an agenda behind that states being terrorized. Borno State, Plateau State, Jos. I do know I actually served in Jos, and the way it was bad for the people of Jos was that when we were in camp, before we even finished, the governor of Jos, like the governor of Plateau State, told us that we coppers, he said, anybody that wants to redeploy from this state, I will give you free hand. Everybody just go. If like, because at that point in time when I was serving, that was in 2021, there was news. There's this place called Jos North and there's Jos South. Jos South is a bit safer than Jos North. When they say Jos North, it's going towards like the real hinterlands, like the main villages where the like very very indigenous, plateau people, just people are living. So that place is usually affected by bandits, and they divided our year of our batch of coppers into people that will serve in Jos North and Jos South. So obviously, if Jos North is being affected by bandits, they will not want to send somebody's child to that place. So they just said everybody, including people that are posted to Jos South, if you want to leave if you want to leave the state, just be going now. Just we'll redeploy you anywhere you want. But you know what I did? I said no. I was tired of living in Lagos. I was like, no, I'll stay in Jos. What's going to happen? What is the thing? What are they doing? Why? Because if you look at Plateau State, I don't know if you've been to Plateau State. Plateau State has one of the most panoramic, tourist centers in this country. In fact, there was a time when that period before the main attack on Jos Central Market, like a lot of foreigners still visited Plateau State to go to this tourist sites, take hikes. If you go to Plateau State, you just see rocks, natural formations of mountains, and like a lot of people in my batch, they went for hikes. It was fun. There's so many parks. I went to one big one and it was just close to where I was living, and it was wonderful. You see nature, just nature, and it was peaceful, it was quiet, it's not crowded. Like the road, you see the way this Lagos road is. We're not living in we're not living real lives as like motorists in this state. The madness of Lagos traffic does not exist anywhere else in this country. It's only Lagos. But anyways, it was so like the whole area of Plateau State was beautiful to me. I loved it, and I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Although I was scared, I was worried, but I was like, why will I go? Maybe they say they're attacking, so I will not go to that side. Yeah. But even though a lot of people just left because they were scared for their lives, and I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't even blame any reaction to such threat. It's normal for people to be scared for their lives. But why is the governor like why are the people like, if these people are attacking the villages of Plateau State, why don't they ever go to meet the governor in his governor house? Why don't they attack these governors of this state? I've never heard of any Boko Haram attack on the governors. If a terrorist want to make a mark somewhere, won't they attack the powers of that place so that the powers of that place will give them what they want? But it's the opposite. It's the poor people that don't even that cannot even do anything for you. Tell me why you are burning people's house. What do you want them to do? They can't do anything for you. So to me, I feel like there's an agenda there that I don't even want to speculate over, but I feel like there's a serious agenda. I think there are mineral resources in that environment. Those places, I've heard something about Plateau having one mineral like this. I think it's gold. I think they have some gold in that place, some sightings of gold in Jos, like that Jos North that I'm talking about, and other valuable minerals that what foreign investors would definitely want to get their hands on, right? Because I know no Nigerian big man that has trillions in his account who wants to invest in this country. He definitely just wants to sell this place out to some foreign investor. I don't want to say he because there are some women in parliament here, there are some women in government positions, so let's just say they, but mostly majority of it is men. So this governor official, this government official, this governor, sorry, these governors or government officials, I think they have an agenda to sell out these pieces of land to foreign bodies, but they can't do it without due process. They have to consult with the village chief, they have to consult with the humanitarian and environmental rights people. They have to make certain, well, what is the fastest way to get rid of all these processes? Declare it unsafe, unleash terror on the area. People will naturally evacuate that place even though they have nowhere else to go. Imagine being born as a Borno person. Let's say I'm from Borno now, so my own life is that I will now decide that, hey, I don't want to die at so age, I have to leave this state even though it's the same freaking country. Those type of things are so desensitized to the Nigerian populace that we don't, the Nigerian populace is so desensitized to those type of nonsense that we don't feel any sort of need to correct it. We don't feel any need to change. It's not now, the not now. No. And this thing that they managed to push onto us, this propaganda of Fulani headsmen, like this propaganda of, oh, it's just the North have, they hate people, the North tries on killing, the North does this, the North do, like, what, which, where that propaganda actually succeeded in this country? Because you cannot have a conversation now about how bad road transport is for everybody without somebody telling you it's not anybody's fault now. Not be this headsmen. Divide and conquer. That's just what is going on in this country. Divide and conquer. That's what is going on in this country. Because you see that period where, a period where Nigerians started having a lot of, like, God is good, Chisco motors, like people started making their millions out of opening road transport offices, like, we have God is good motors, we have Chisco motors, we have, what's the name of this one I used to travel each day, like, we have a lot of different options for road travel now, and it's like there's AC buses. This was something that was new at a certain point in the 2000s, I think 2000, like 2000 and mid 2000s, I guess, that God is good came out. Like, one person, he made like a fortune out of doing this transport business, and then other people now started doing like him, and like Igbo men decided doing business. Then it became unsafe to travel by road. At some point when terrorists unleashed on the road, and now I don't know if there's a connection to it, but have you noticed how there are so many local flights? Like, there are so many planes in this country now flying local flights. Tell me how, like, when we were way younger, like 2010, 2012, we even think that you use a plane to go from, let's say, Rivers to which other states it has? I think Imo has an airport here. Rivers to Imo or something. Or you want to use a plane to go from Lagos to people used to use planes to go from Lagos to Abuja very rare, I think. But most means of travel was by road. Nigerians were so familiar with road travel. They did a lot of road travel. Like, it was very normal. But all of it, it's not all of a sudden. And I'm not saying it's not a sign of progress. I think it's a very wonderful sign of progress that we can now use flights to go from one part of the country to another part of the country. I mean, interstate travel. There's also trains coming up now, but before trains, were like the planes are like plenty in the country now. That, oh, and now look at how much, before we even get to that point. So road transport became what, untenable. You hear stories of bus drivers taking their passengers on a certain route, and out of all of a sudden they just stop the bus, jump out of the car, run away, then bandits will swoop down into the bus, kidnap some people. Some people will lose their lives, kill some people, all of that, and we all blame it on a certain group of people. Everybody blames it on a certain group of people. Meanwhile, some people, and then all of a sudden we now started seeing a rollout of planes. Oh, this plane is going to this place, this flights, I don't call names, but like all these flights and all of that and all of that, people started saying, okay, flights an alternative. Flights and alternative. It was not popular. So I beg, how much should I pay in flight? I just take one. God is good to where I'm going to. This is not a God is good for sponsored video, please. But it's the one that's come to my mind right now. So that road transport now, you see how it has been kind of sidelined, you know. Before people think of traveling by road, they always think very deeply based on their routes, the routes that they're going to go through. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I've been talking for a while now, so I wonder if that makes sense. But I'm just saying, that all those routes, the road has been completely, from what was something that was a thoughtless decision. Oh, I'm going to so state. Oh, I'll use God's good. I'll use this motor. I'll use Chisco best. I'll use this one. Now it is now a matter of, what if something happens on the road? Let me just take flight. Then you now notice that flight has now quadrupled their prices. If E.Ts came out that year and told you the price they're telling you now is the price that they're telling you, that, like, if the price that they're calling for you now is the price that they were calling you when they first came out, will you buy tickets? Nobody will buy tickets. Nobody patronize them. And those road people too, their prices were affected by fuel. Obviously, it's not the same aviation fuel that planes are using, but their prices were affected by fuel and reflected in, like, the fuel instabilities reflected in their prices. Fine, but Nigerians were coping with it. So my own issue is, like, why is that anytime, like, some group of people want to lobby a new their own new business, because it's definitely a business, their own new business, or they want to encourage and they want to allow an investor take hold of the economy, they will just ruin one other sector for everybody else. And the way they ruin it in such a way that Nigerians don't even feel that they can protest, and demand safety, so that these people will give them back their road, whatever, their roadway, their road transport. Nigerians just feel, oh, I have to work hard to make how much money so that I can be able to fly from one state to the other to see my people or to do business. Somebody that is making how much, the people that are buying tickets every day, how much do you think they are making? It's not all of them, not everybody is making millions, but they have to scrape, because they don't want to lose their lives on the road. So they have to scrape to buy airplane tickets. Did you see, I think it was earlier in this year, where E.Ts was having these congestion issues where they were not even boarding by the system. People lined up on the staircase of the plane. I don't know what they call it, but the plane stairs to enter, and they were pushing, throwing back. You think it's Molware? Molware has been phased out in this country. You think it's Molware plane that they paid for, that they booked? Nothing is working in this country. No system. Every time they establish a new system, it gets run over by corruption, deceit, fraud. And Nigerians have to now pay the price of inconvenience, inefficiency, and delays, and even danger. They have to always pay this price by coughing out blood for money that they did not even know where they are getting it from. There's no reaction, there's no revolution, there's no body in place, there's no organization in place of saying no, enough. The so-called NLC that I was hearing as a child, I was like, oh, at least we have a body that speaks up for the people, is nothing to write home about. I'm not hearing their voice again. It's just so hi K. My name is King. I'm streaming from Nigeria. Where are you from? Like there's no nothing. It's just as if these people know. When I say these people, I mean the exploiters and the oppressors. I think they just know that whatever we do, whatever they do, Nigerians will just go along with it. And people are not going along with it. People are dying. People are dying. People are dying now. People are doing their best, but they are losing their lives. They are losing their humanity. The kind of jobs that people take on just to survive, the humanizing jobs. Do you know how many people are from Benue that leave their hometown because there's no businesses, there's no Sri Lanka? Okay, you're my first Sri Lankan visitor. Your name is K. I'm from Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. I'm streaming from Nigeria. I don't know. I have Sri Lankan friends though, but I'm my first visitor from Sri Lanka, so welcome. Thumbs up for you. Thumbs up for you. Anyways, on this stream today, I'm just like voicing some opinions, some very, very, like, I'm just critiquing the sad state of things in this country, in my country. In this country, let me not call it my country, because I refuse to identify with a system that, oppresses and oppresses and oppresses. Like, it is no longer. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That's nice to hear. Always nice to hear that. So I'm critiquing a system that, continuously oppresses people. And I'm like, if we're not going to have, like, we have to get to the point where we're willing to risk. Thank you, K. Thank you, K. We have to get to the point where we're willing to risk something for progress. Like, when I see pictures of youths in Indonesia burning their parliament building, youths in Nepal burning the government building, I feel so much solidarity with them. I feel like this is something that needs to be done in this country, especially. Because at the end of the day, the life that you're so scared of, keeping safe, at the end of the day, it's not worth living in this condition. It's not worth living in this condition. It's not worth living. I don't know the type of construction they are doing recently, that people were on the road yesterday not yesterday, maybe day before yesterday. They could not, they shut off one part of the bridge, connecting the mainland and the island, and they know that a lot of people use that as their work commute, and they shut off those parts of the bridge and said everybody should follow one single place. And it's not like there was any proper adjustment for this level of commute that happens in Nigeria, like in Lagos, sorry. So somebody is going to work, somebody still has to think for how they will come back from work. Like, there's nobody that is putting these people in check. There's nobody that regulates them. We don't talk about even people that come on social media to do freedom fighters. The whole freedom fighter and social rights movement has been hijacked by some people that are just too intolerant to help anybody but their own type of people. I'm talking about that guy. It's not about giving up. Yeah, I don't think I can give up on Nigeria. Okay, I don't think I can give up. But I feel like it gets to a point, yeah. Like, what is the melting point for? What will be the melting point for people to finally stand up against this oppression? What will be the melting point? What will be the melting point for somebody to hear that hmm, one person is pocketing trillions of dollars? One person, oh, one, not that it's a group of people that are sharing. One person, and it's not naira, dollars. Meanwhile, the person on the streets, like the average Nigerian might not see a million naira in to hold, like, at a time in his lifetime, in their lifetime. So people might never ever ever make up to a millionaire at once. They might spend millions over, obviously, you spend, but what is it to say that one person in this, like an average person in this country, if they don't do something extreme, you get, they cannot just have 1 million comfortably in their pockets. Just even though the value of 1 million naira now is not the value of 1 million naira 10 years ago. The value has come down, but still people cannot get to that point. What does this emoji mean, K? It's unfortunate. Hello, K. Hi. It's just and then we cannot keep going and saying like, why I even started talking about it was because someone was telling me I should not talk about Nigeria in that sense. I should just act like everything is okay. I was like, no, thank you, K, for the emojis. Like, I'm not going to act like everything is okay, especially when it's affecting something I want to do. Like, I cannot just stream in peace. I have to start thinking about NEPA, when NEPA will bring lights. Or after streaming now, the way MTN is charging for data is insane. They just hiked all the prices of their data plans, and now people have to adjust to it. People that were adjusting to at least 1,000 naira, now they have to adjust to 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira to get a data plan that lasts them at least, even if it's just 2 weeks in a month, which is also a scam. Their data plans and data system in this country is all fraudulent. Because tell me why you pay for a data for a month and it does not last you more than 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. So I'm just critiquing it, asking what point do we have to get to before we stand up and speak about these things, before we stand up and call out the people that are oppressing and exploiting everyone else, making life hard for everybody else, so that their children or their girlfriends or their mistresses can come online too and be in this same social media and be doing, if you like, don't hustle though, or I just like my life easy, I like easy things, I don't like stress, I don't do this, I don't do that. But you're hiding your surname, because if people know your surname, they'll know that your father stole so amount of money so yeah. They'll know that your father stole the pensions of so many people when he was just council chairman which year, and those people died. A lot of people lost their lives because they could not receive their pension after working for donkey years for the government. That's why you cannot say your surname out, because if you say your surname out, people will trace you and your family. But you will now pretend and be doing, if you like, I just want to do holiday in this country, I just want to do holiday in this country, oh, I got this bag, oh, I got this new car. The discussion about Wike's son, it's not enough for him to spend the money that his father stole on his behalf. He has to put it on Instagram. I saw a video of his stories. There's like the story line was like waist bead. This guy spent 24 hours in the air. One country you eat pasta, you not even stay to second, you go to the other country to gamble money. When you gamble money finish, you go to another country to have chocolate cake. When through private jet, oh, not public flight, not general flight, private jet. Then you go to this country to watch a match in the stadium where the match is being played in the moment. Different time zones, you are visiting countries of different time zones. Then when you now finish, you now come to Nigeria to eat goat. and you close it out, say you are living life, meanwhile your father is there stealing from left, right and center. So I don't know, sha, I just wanted to say that I will not stop critiquing this country. Let's not even talk about intolerance and bigotry in this country, fueled by tribalism and religious fanaticism. Let's not talk about those ones. So not touch those ones yet. Though. Let's just talk about the general things, even though those things are what encourage this oppression and social whatever social struggle, climbing up the classes. Your desire to be in a class above you will allow you to turn your face away from the oppression of somebody below you. Or you say things like, it's money that is, it's when you don't have money, insult will come now. Like, why should there be insult at all in the conversation? Why does somebody have to be insulted just to establish a class awareness? Why must there be insults? Anyways, that's just what I wanted to say today, Sha. And I spent nearly 1 hour doing so. Nearly 1 hour doing so. If you've been here all through, you can contribute. Hello, city boy. Hello, welcome back. Hi. I actually planned today to like do a level of mathematics on stream, but I was just thinking about how there's no light, how you have to buy fuel that you did not budget for, fuel that you did not plan for, so that you can charge your phone, so that I can come on live. When other people light is just like air, it's just like oxygen. They just breathing in air and they have lights. Like they don't even think about light at all. But I have to start thinking. I always have to think about light. I kind of suspect this conspiracy theory that the reason why light is inconsistent is because there's lobbying in the house for the people that want to always make money through importation of generators in this country. People that make their millions from importing generator, because if everybody has light, all businesses experience 24 hours light, generator will just be a very 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 last resort. You won't be spending, some people in a year, depending on their businesses and how the generator needs to be used, they can buy two big generators in 1 year. Now when they add it to their price, who is going to suffer it? Oh, see what I'm saying? My friend wants to leave because there's no light, his phone is down. It's okay, my dear. Thank you for even checking me out. I hope you subscribe so that you can catch more of my lives like this, and so we can have a fun discussion. But thank you for stopping by, city boy. Bye. I'll still be here for a while, so it's okay. Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, make sure you stop by tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. That's just the price you pay for being in this country. No light. I wish if people can be like, okay, I'm not asking for too much, let's just do revolts for light. Let government give us 24 hours light. That's what we want. Let's start from there. But they know if they give us one thing, they know that we can always press them to give us another thing. So they don't like to back down from something. I don't know. I feel like we should always have the mind that we want everything. We don't just want one thing. We want everything. Stop all this nonsense and stop. Why should somebody, just because somebody is in a position of government, the person can just steal billions from the system? Like, there should be punishment for such a behavior. If the punishment is not effective enough, people will not be scared to steal. You have to make people be scared of stealing. Like in Singapore now, do you know what they do to corrupt officials? hanging, hanging. They know they compromise. Now they know they don't negotiate. They catch you, eh? This one they're not even if they catch you. So they don't negotiate. I think that's what they do in Singapore. Until they got to this point of stability where they are just it's just normal for them not to think of stealing because their standard of living is okay, at least to an extent. They are doing well as a country. Of course they have their own struggles obviously, but they had to come from somewhere to where they are today. So if I in this country now, like when you say somebody stole money, just do one kind of parade. So EFCC will wear their stupid orange shirts and blazon EFCC all over. They just take their picture. They won't even take their picture. They will just show the money. This person stole money. That's the end of it. No consequences. That person can go on and run for governor. Can go to the village and become chief. Can use the rest of the money. Spend all of his time outside of prison. Buy private jets. Go to church. Say pastor say it's forgiven by God. It gets to a point, man. It has to get to a point, and I'm afraid with the way Nigeria is going. Nigeria is doing as if Nigerians are behaving as if they don't have a limit to being oppressed, because they feel as if I won't be here for long. I will run away to the abroad, or I will make it and I'll become richer than my neighbor. I will make it and I'll enter this business that gives me millions and millions, not knowing that those businesses are exploiting people as well. Imagine somebody calling himself, I'm a CEO, I have several businesses, and you're telling your workers to come from Monday to Saturday, 8 to 7. They will leave the house at 6 and get there like at least 7 o'clock, 7 to, on the very, very late days, 9 p.m. And the person is making those workers, and you are paying them 100,000 naira. The highest anybody's consider companies maybe 150. But you go outside calling yourself big man. I've made it to I've made 6 days in a week. 100. How much is data? How much is transport fare? How much is food? What will 100k do for somebody in 30 days? That's 4,000 naira a day. Abi? What do for 100k divided by 30 days? That's three something naira, 3k something a day. In a day, how much do you spend? You buy food for lunch, 2,000 naira. How much do you spend on transport fare? 1,500. Money don't finish. That is the money that you don't have, that you already spending, so that when your salary comes, it just disappears. You don't know where it's going to. You start thinking, I'm not saving properly, I'm wasting my money, I'm not careful. It's a lie. You are being exploited. And those people that parade themselves as, I am a CEO, I have several businesses, they are just, it's not that they cannot pay more, but they want to achieve this aim of being a millionaire, a billionaire, so that they can buy iPhone 16 at the drop of a hat. This is another thing I want to even bring up, that most Nigerians are not conscious of the environment. They're not conscious of what do you call it? They're not conscious of how to say it now. They don't have this social consciousness, because they'll be like, oh, I'm too busy trying to survive. The iPhones you keep buying every new year, any new drop. In fact, the fact that I saw somebody riding a Tesla in this country pissed me off so bad. Why the hell do you have a Tesla in Nigeria? Are you stupid? Even if you want to flaunt your wealth, not on Elon Musk. Don't flaunt your wealth on Elon Musk and his rubbish creations. Like, are you dumb? You brought a Tesla to ride on which road? Which road you carry that your stupid fucking Tesla? Where in this country can your Tesla stay without not go without where? Before you know, oh, iPhone 17 is coming. I know some weirdos that are ready to buy the new iPhone 17, not because they need a new phone, not because the phone is more functional, but because they want to show class. They need to show off class standing. I've critiqued so many people close to me that spend money on iPhones. They just want to show off class. It's now a status. It's now a signifier of class. That's what the iPhones are now. But your iPhones, now that information is very widespread and very much available, your iPhones are made from the literal blood of children in Congo, in this same Africa that all of us are inside. Children are dying in what do they call it? Is it cobalt mines? Children are dying for that your stupid phone. So it's no longer about blood diamonds. Now you say, oh, Nigerians are not crazy about diamonds, which they are. Let's not go there. But the thing that is the main thing that used to do Nigerians is this class signifiers. When I was growing up, it was cars. Now I'm an adult, it is iPhones. I wonder what the next generation will use as a class signifier. Why are you changing from an iPhone? I don't even know. iPhone 12 to iPhone 13 Pro. Then you say Pro Max. And it's not like the phone is better in that sense. So it's just signifier of status. Just to signify your status in this world. Musicians, their own is to buy stupid fucking cars. Because tell me why you're buying a Ferrari. Where you want to go a Ferrari in this country? Oh, obviously you're living abroad. Fine. Why are you not showing it off in this country? So that you can let your enemies of your enemies know that you are better than them. So as much as I'm going to critique the government and the systems, there has to be something called class consciousness in this country. There is no solidarity among the classes in this country. There's no class consciousness in this country. The only consciousness we know is to show off that we are better than somebody else. Now, even the abroad now, they're now being hostile towards people that look like us. America that Nigerians could easily, not easily, like let's just say at least if you have all the money and everything, you can at least go to America. It's because of money a lot of people don't used to try to even go to America at all because of the process of rejection. Now there is a despot sitting on the seat of presidency in that country. So now people that look like you, people that look like me, cannot safely exist in that place. Where are you going to run away to now? UK, oh, UK, they're now flying Union Jack up and down. They say, it's just my country's flag. Where are you going to go to now? Where are you going to run off to now? Where can you run off to now? Where can you run off to now? Why should you run away? Yes, those are colonial masters, and immigrants deserve a place in their countries. They can't just do all what they did all these years past and just go back to their country and be like, we have left the people alone. No, you put people in systems of dependency where they will never be able to find their feet, and you now say you want to live in your country in peace. It's not possible. You say your children will now grow up not knowing what you did. Say you want to do my country, you people are not from this country. No, you can't say that. You can't say that. I'm not saying I'm not of the right that immigrants should not go where they want to go. Immigrants should, like anybody can go to any fucking country they please and start their life there. I'm just saying that the desire to run away, it gets to a point where, like, what the people can, some people can't run away now. The people that can't run away, because should they just die under this exploitative system? Should they just perish, give up? That's the question here. That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying it's not right for people to exist and immigrate to a country. In fact, they have a right. As Africans, we have every right to stake our claim on any freaking country we like in this world. All the peace, all the beauty, all the aesthetics of their country, they bought it on the backs of exploiting people of color. So don't even give me that nonsense about, say, immigration. No, don't. Whenever there's conversation about how immigration is bad for Nigerians or something, Nigerians will be like, the government in the country, we need to work on it. Yes, we need, two things can exist at a time. Yes, we need to fight the government of this country, but we also deserve a place. Okay, in any country that we choose, we deserve a place. Yes, we deserve a place there. So two things can exist too. Two truths can exist at the same time. But it's just that sometimes we focus on saying let's not, because you don't want to critique You don't critique an American. You don't critique an American government. You don't critique Trump. That one, Trump time will come. Trump time will come. But today I'm just talking about my country, this country, because I'm here. Everywhere is so dull. Have you seen that TikTok where one guy was feeling depressed and he was just thinking about his life, and then he just brought light, as in this country. He just started jumping up, being happy that, oh, depression postponed, I feel better now, I feel better now. That thing is very, 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 it's a very, very, very serious condition. I mean, if they should bring light now, this feeling I'm having, it will lift up a bit, because there's light. Light means possibilities. I don't have to stress about my food going bad in the fridge. I don't have to stress about, fuel or my phone dying, or me missing an opportunity because I'm not online, because my phone is dead, or just relaxing in light, just enjoying the comfort of having light. Fan will blow you, heat is not too much. So I don't know, I just went off on a long, long tangent now. I know that thing I said before, that allow my viewers time to express their thoughts. Sorry, I didn't do that today. I just feel pressed about the whole thing, Sha. Feel like sometimes you just need to make commentary on, sort of situation, and talk. Just wanted to say it, Sha. And it's not too cohesive, it's not too coherent like that. It's not very arranged. I'm just picking up the heat of the moment, and I know some places I might have um maybe I've not been accurate. I am open to hearing what you have to say about this entire situation, especially if you are from this country, or if you are from a country that suffers under an exploitative government or system, or government of rule, system of rule or government, ruling power. Supposed to do mathematics today, but I was studying and I realized that I needed to. There's one particular topic somebody suggested to me, partial fractions, and I decided that I would study it. So I was studying it, and then I realized partial fractions requires like an understanding of factoring, or what we call factorization. And I was like, oh, I need to brush up on this. And I was enjoying studying factorization, but time was going, and I was like, okay, let me just focus on studying factoring, and then apply it to my exercises in partial fractions, and then present everything uh, as just partial fractions, like on a string. Yeah, I don't want to do, because sometimes now some people's issue might with the with partial fractions might be, maybe they don't understand how to do simultaneous equation, factoring, stuff like that. And I don't want to be lost, like, no, let's just follow what this person said. I want to be able to explain it deeply, that, oh, this is how you get to this point by factoring. What is factoring? You do like it, you do like that. So I wanted to achieve that with my lesson on partial fractions. So I need to be comprehensive. That's why I'm not talking about mathematics today. I'm seeing a lot of likes on my stream today, which is cool. That means maybe to an extent some people enjoyed what I was talking about. Maybe some people had fun with what I was talking about. What's going on in the field today? I think it's a school event. It's always school event. Maybe a school is having an inter-house sport, like sporting event. noise in this country. Noise is so like entrenched as a part of nature. When it is a form of pollution, that's why when Nigerians travel abroad, the first thing they have to adjust to is the silence. The silence is kind of maddening. For me personally, it was kind of deafening. It felt as if the silence would deafen me. Imagine silence. It was so quiet. And then I adjusted to it. Because of course I adjusted to it. Of course I did. I'm not supposed to suffer noise pollution. Nobody's supposed to suffer noise pollution at any point. But we are so used to it. City planning, no day. Regulatory bodies. Oh my god. Ah. Trying to make sure that if people are watching the replay of this video, there is a line of where I'm going to. That's why I do not really, stop and talk, except it was a contribution to the conversation. I didn't want it to be as if I started with something on the stream and then I got sidetracked, trying to keep people to stay on the stream. As much as I want people to stay longer on my stream, I want people that are interested in the things I'm talking about. I don't want to just be like, let's just gather, people that are just like, just want to see something, I don't know, something else that I'm not offering. You get? So I'll just be like, let me just be for all. So when people are plenty, I'll not start saying what I believe in or start talking about things I care about. And it's like, no, I'm going to talk about things I care about now because that's the whole reason I started streaming, because I want to be heard and I want to be seen as me, not as a performer, not as something shaped from outside. No, something from inside of me from the inside, being seen. And I started this month talking about meeting a goal of 1K subs and all of that. And I was thinking about it yesterday because it was kind of depressing. Like, it's kind of depressing when I finish a stream and I see that people didn't subscribe. I'm like, why am I getting depressed? Yeah, what am I getting depressed about? And I was like, I'm living in that future place of, oh, I got to 1K, and it's like too much pressure on me right now. Like, oh, what can I do to make people, subscribe? And it's like, that's not why I started it in the first place. That's not why I started streaming in the first place. So even if I finish this month without that goal, I feel it's just nice to talk about it. Yeah, just say, oh, I want to reach 1K. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Not that serious. What is serious to me is being seen the way I want to be seen. You know, being heard, my voice being heard about things I care about. That's more important to me than, and I need to center that than the whole um 1K sub, 1K sub. Of course, it's going to do me in my head like, signs of success, signs of success. How do you show that you're successful? How do you know you're successful? When it's not reflecting in the metrics. So it does me sometimes, but I have to remind myself who I am, who I am, who am I, who I am. So anyways, yeah, that's just the conversation I wanted to have today on stream. That's the conversation I wanted to have today on stream. That I will be critiquing my country at any point. Nobody's safe. Not this country is freaking not safe for me critiquing it. Like, it's not safe for me critiquing it at all. Like, of course, having a Ferrari among your international peers, artist peers, is nothing. They have money, they can buy Ferrari. Where else can you like make people feel that you've made it by buying a Ferrari. Where else? Where else? Oh, your poor country. Your country that has an average number of people that are living 5 steps below the poverty line in like a large portion of the population. If those other people see you with a Ferrari, they're going to drool. They're going to drool. They're going to worship you. They're going to praise you. Not the people that have Ferrari get bored and throw them away. Those ones don't fucking care about a Ferrari. No, no. It has to show it where it matters. Create some sort of aspirational disease. I think that is stop. Let me not talk too much. I've already spoken enough about it. Spoken enough about it. Anyways, I wonder. I'll still be checking up on Nepalese issue. Still checking out on Indonesia issue. Sending my solidarity vibes to them. I hope their government breaks and bends to their demands, which was originally they in their job description. Like that is your job, man. You're supposed to fulfill these people's demands. That's literally why you're elected or whatever. It's not the other way around. Anyways, I have a social media. If you want to send me DMs, if you want to support the channel, obviously, you want to support the channel, my email is in the description. My Instagram and my email. So if you want to reach out to me for collabs, conversations, you want to share your thoughts that you cannot share on stream, you can send it to me on my through my email. You can DM me on Instagram. I post some clips, not clips, but pictures of what I do here. I've not really gotten into it because I just opened the account by popular demand, and now nobody's following me or sending me message. So I don't know why I opened it. But anyways, let me just leave it open in case I meet more people that want to connect with me that way on Instagram. People that want to send me emails, people that want to support my channel, feel free to do so through my emails. My email is in my description. My Instagram is also in the description. Any form of support will be appreciated. Any form of support will be appreciated. Maybe I should have brought one book at least for us. Oh, today we're supposed to read Family today. I think I was supposed to read Family today. Let's read Family today. Let's read Family today, but I wanted to speak about that thing. It's so important to me. Maybe we'll read Family tomorrow on stream, but I won't read it. I'll narrate it outwardly. I'll just read it, and then we'll discuss the story. We'll discuss the things I noticed, in the book. Like open to conversation about the story and how far we've gone in the story. Family is a book about the ghost. It's not really a ghost ship, but it's about slavery in America and how this woman, eventually killed herself to escape from her evil master, but she could not. So she also tried to kill her children, but they didn't die. She was the only one that died. So now she's stuck because she wanted to really watch her children grow up. So now she's stuck. She's not stuck, but she's staying back. She didn't ascend to heaven or descend to hell. She's just hanging around her family, like seeing how their lives turned out. And So far, what we've seen has been interesting. Like, she had one son before she died, and that son managed to escape from the plantation, and he tried to save his little sister, but things did not work out for the little sister in that way. Instead, the sister was sold to a man from Scotland, and the man took her away from America to Scotland, and she eventually married the man, and she started living as a free person in Scotland. Then she has an older daughter. That's two children, yes. So she has an older daughter, always, and the last born, Plum. So Plum is a sickly child, okay, and always just expected that she will spend the rest of her days in the farm, with her baby sister and all. But that's not the life of a slave. Eventually, the farm, came into ruins, and the mistress of the farm decided to start selling slaves. So she said she will sell this firstborn always, and always thought maybe she would sell her with her baby sister, but no, the woman sold only her to this man that wanted to get married. So this man wanted to buy always. He's about to get married, and he wants to impress his bride that he's a gentleman, because in those days, signifiers of class is owning people, owning lands, owning properties, including human beings. So he wanted to show this woman that he's a gentleman, he's not just a hard worker. So he came to buy always, and her mistress sold her too. So she left the house, and now she has to face a new life, thinking that her sister will join her. Me personally, I feel sad for her sister, because it's like, I feel like that girl might not die easily. I feel like she might die a painful one, and this woman would have to watch her child die. By woman, I mean this ghost that did not ascend. She's watching all of this. The reason why we know what happens to the children that left the farm is because she follows them. She's the narrator, so she follows them. She sees how their lives play out, and she's telling us, the reader. So now the children that she came back for is always and the last born. So now she has to watch her daughters being separated, knowing that one is very sickly, and anything can happen to that one. Now that she's not protected, even though they can't really protect each other in that such a situation, but somehow, always could look out for Plum. Plum is the name of the last born. But now that always is leaving the farm, what will happen to Plum? When that was happening, when the sale was happening, I was kind of expecting that somehow she would find Plum, and tell the mistress. She was even telling the mistress that mistress, what about my sister or something. So that one now said she has been prepared, that you have been prepared. And she thought maybe that meant Plum would follow her. So she went without protest. If she had seen Plum, maybe she would have held Plum and gone to her mistress to be like, no, let's go together, or pleaded. But the thing about this mistress is that she has a history with their mother. So this, the mother of always, she was the um she was the actual slave that was very active before the man married her. It's like generation of owners here. So there was a time when the mistress was frustrated that her husband was having children by this woman that is a ghost, which is weird, because it's not like he was having she was having these children by choice. This man was for assaulting her, like sexual assault, and she had to have those children because those children were properties. So in essence, her own children, the mistress's children, were siblings with the slaves' children, and she hated that. She also had this thing in her mind that maybe her husband found this slave more attractive than she herself. And in that moment, yeah, there was a moment where they both confronted each other, where this ghost woman that's narrating was holding one of her babies in the house, in the big house, and she was cleaning the house. And that baby she was holding, because the child is a child of the master, the baby is almost white. The baby was almost white, and the mistress, seeing the baby on the woman's back. She got so angry. She now picked up this poker for fire and she used it to hit her. And the slave was just, the woman was just bearing the heat here. And she was there. She now carried the poker and she wanted to hit the child. The mother held the poker and said, "Hey, come here. You can hit me, but why are you hitting the child? What did the child do to you?" And she was like, "How dare you stop me?" Because that's the state of things there. Like, how dare you stop me? Like, and the woman looked her in her eyes, like the woman with the child looked at the mistress in her eyes and said no. I think they didn't even exchange words even. They were just looking at each other. Like, the audacity, that one feeling, that audacity of this person to try to stop me. And that one feeling like, in this moment, are we not both victims of the same system? Victims of the man, you know, this man that you feel is troubling you. Don't you think I'm in the same position? Do you think I'm in this position because I want to? Do you think I'm just made to be hit and to be assaulted and to force to have somebody's children without my saying it or something? Like, it was just this non-communication between both of them, that, and then the woman was so stunned, she could not do anything. She had to drop the poker. The mistress, she dropped the poker. That was the day this woman had decided that she's going to kill herself and her children, because she knew that if that mistress told anybody else, she would be flogged and her children would not be safe. Because at the end of the day, the slavery thing runs on these people not being recognized as actual human beings, to be seen as cattle. So can a cow stand up and strike you? Yes, cows can actually fight back. How about it? Cows do fight back. Animals do fight back. Okay, when they've been tortured beyond belief, they strike out. They rebel. They behave. But that kind of mercy was not afforded to human beings that they enslaved back then. So anyway, that was the day she decided that she's going to kill herself and her children. And she went out to the field and she looked for all the poisonous herbs she had ever, encountered or heard of, and she boiled it and she put it in a drink, and she told all her children to lie down with her, and they all drank it. And she herself drank it. Unfortunately, all of them, they all woke up with maybe running stomach or something, but she was dead. She died. So now fast forward to this moment where always was begging, to just so that she can go with her sister, and the mistress was looking at her and thinking of her mother, and thinking about how normally she would appreciate always being with her for longer, because always is the youngest at this time of the farm, being bad. Always is the most efficient hard worker, always does not complain, always is stable, always has accepted a lot in life. But because she needed the money for the farm, and she said she doesn't really care much about, she still has that grudge against her mother. Like, just be going. She not show her any mercy. She not think of her in any way. She just like dehumanize her in her mind and sold her off. So like, that's the story of family that we were reading last week, and I was supposed to read it today, but because of this thing I wanted to talk about, let's just read it tomorrow. Not tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. We might read family tomorrow. So in case you're showing up for the stream today, you can show up tomorrow, so we'll continue the book. That's where we stopped. Like, we stopped at the point where um always was sold to another ranch, another plantation, another family. So, and again, there's this way the man that was buying her was looking. So I feel like there will be a kind of course, it's never straightforward, you know. When a human being is at the mercy of another human, there's no peace. Because human beings can be very, 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 very extreme, especially when they are allowed to, when they feel like it is their right to do so. But I wonder though, for me personally, I think I prefer reading books. Like, I prefer reading stuff like that than watching movies like that. Like, all these movies about slavery, like, I think I tried to watch 12 Years a Slave the first time it came out, and I could not get past 10 minutes. I was like, no, not me. I can't do this. I can't watch torture. But in my mind, there's a level of censoring I can do. Although last week's chapter was very, very painful to read. Like I was crying. Very painful to read. Anyways, yeah. So well, we can look forward to books tomorrow. Maybe it will be reading. And again, this thing that we do here is poetry. So we can do poetry too tomorrow. I'll read poetry from a collection that I have by this poet, E.Ts. E.Ts is from Ireland, and his works is being studied in school. So that day, like he's one of like his poetry's gifts to the world. Like I don't know how to say it properly, but he's kind of like one of the pillars of poetry, English poetry, not poetry, but English poetry. He's one of the pillars of English poetry. So those kind of things, yeah. That's what we do. That's what I do here. Also, people are coming here from yesterday's stream. Like I don't solve puzzles every day. I don't solve puzzles every day. I dedicate a certain part of my time to solve them, to work at it. But it's not all the time. It's correct. Correct. Sir? In the room, in the room. In the room. I'm coming. I'm doing something. I'm going to have to stop now. What you get? You are living with somebody, you are living with people, you are living with people, different kinds of interaction. Thinking about the time I tried to run away. Oh my god, running away I discovered is not the solution. I guess running away is not the solution. You have to go through it. The only way out is through. So let me go through it. Let me get the book. Sorry. In this book I got second hand and the cover was destroyed. This is the cover, but I wrapped it last night. This paper, and I used these stickers I got like 2 years ago that I didn't know what I could use them for. So I used it to tape the book like this. The cover is really dirty and torn. So I stapled the beginning pages of it, the wrapping paper. I think it's okay. That's also cool because this is this a butterfly or a moth? I don't know. It looks like a butterfly. And it's the thing with my stickers. I'm going to try to read it as the time goes. Since there is nobody contributing, so let me just read it. This is a new book I'll be starting. I haven't started this book. I'll just be looking at it. I'm saving it for maybe when I'm out one day. Why did my network glitch? I wonder if I'm not seeing the messages again. Okay, just continue. Finally, we have come to the end, and I've gone like 20 something pages already. Come to the end of this stream, and I'm so happy for the people that joined and contributed to my lovely rapping. I will see you in tomorrow's stream. Hopefully, there is more that we can talk about together and enjoy together. So, bye bye. Thank you for joining the stream. Subscribe, like, chat me, or comment, and I will reply. If you want to support the channel, my email and my Instagram are in the description. Connect with me for all of that. Okay, so bye bye.